Welcome to Game Pass News, recorded September 21st, 2021. We talk about what is hot in the world of Xbox, what's coming, what's going on Game Pass. We talk about this each and every week. We want to thank you for listening. My name is Nick, and my fearless co-host, Sean Abbott's right over here next to me. How you doing, man?
I don't know how I've earned the accolade of fearless, but but I'll take it.
I'll tell you how. Because you played 2.5 hours of Subliminal. You beat it in one fell swoop on a stream. That's fearless, if you ask me.
Yeah. Fearless, stupidity, the fact that I couldn't actually put the game down. Who knows? But no, that game was really good. I enjoyed that. So,
but
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you should stop short because we will chat about the fact that you rage quit and deleted I Am Fish off of your Xbox.
Yeah.
Little hurt here because I thought it was such a great game. But hey, we'll get to all that fun stuff. Other than that, how's life with the fam? How are things going?
Yeah, good. It's crazy week again as always when it's bad week last week. So last week was my 72-hour week. And yeah, so that was crazy. So it's nice to kind of get a bit of downtime. I've kind of caught up on a few things today. But yeah, but everyone's well. Everyone's busy.
Yeah.
Yourself? You've got your darling wife back home?
Yes, my wife is back home. She's happy and healthy. The eye is fine. That's good. Bruce is in the chat. We want to say how you doing, man. Appreciate you dropping by as always. Such a awesome, faithful listener. Really appreciate it. Yeah. So she's healthy. I'm sure Sean will talk about some awesome plans he has while I'm gone. But yeah, so life's a little crazy just because you're trying to like nail down all those final details before we go on vacation. Who gets the kids when, and do we have everything needed for the kids when they go to grandma's and then nana's and they're getting shipped all around. And so yeah, crazy in that sense, but it's good crazy. So, we'll take good. This crazy is better than last week's crazy. So, it's always crazy. It's just what shade of crazy do we got?
Yeah, if they could ever make a parenthood book, it would basically just be prepare for everything and nothing at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
yeah. So it's the fair here in my county. Which do you guys have fairs? Do you call them fairs? Is that a thing? You never know over there. I'm always shocked about what you don't have or what you do have.
So a fair for us would literally be just a ton of rides in one spot. That would be a fair. Not so much like stalls where things get judged.
Okay.
They're more shows than fairs. So
gotcha. See, yeah. So for us, it's called a 4-H fair. That's what this is called. And okay, I'm gonna keep going, and you're gonna have to try to explain that one to me, Sean. And so yeah, so like we judge, I don't know, everything from horses to Legos to canning to it's not ridiculous. I'm very happy. Kids love this stuff. It's awesome. I think it's great. So
yeah, I caught the picture that you dropped in Discord about the Lego that you was having to judge, and it looked amazing. So I just struggled there, like how on earth do you differentiate between that one and another one? Because if that's the level that those people are making Lego models at, and I'm well impressed.
Yeah, no, it is a ton of fun. I think it's cool. But yeah, it's just the fair's huge over here. It's like the thing didn't happen last year, obviously. So everybody's super excited. So I go there 2 or 3 times throughout the week for all different kinds of stuff. So, but that's life for me. Anything else before we talk, Xbox stuff?
We've got Ebicel in the chat, so asking who the numpty is this week, and I think for me a numpty is like who's the idiot or the silly person. That's kind of what a numpty is. So I have no idea.
Oh, I'm always the numpty, Ebicel. This should be a non-question. I'm always the numpty.
That's not true.
And I'm not doing anything with butter. So whatever you're talking about there with the butter sculpture, I am out. Okay,
That's
so this
Andros.
is
Ask
not.
Andros about that. He's the guy that likes to do weird things on streams, like
Yeah,
mow lawns.
yeah. You got to talk to Dads After Dark or something else. I don't know. They do all that weird stuff over there. Maybe they'll butter something up for you. But, but over
Put some
here,
peanut butter on it.
I'm giving you titles already, Sean.
Nice.
But over here, we talk about Xbox. And so our first story, and let me tell you, it's a slower week this week.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
slow week in the newsroom. We'll take anything that we have.
yeah,
So
yeah. So Xbox Series X consoles are slowly becoming available to buy online again. Not according to the search I just did, but apparently
no,
somewhere. So wherever
yeah,
you're at.
in the UK, that I should have added that in it, but it's in the UK. The Telegraph kind of did a bit of a story about it. What 4, 5, it's about 6, 7 hours ago on their live newsfeed page that the consoles are slowly being dripped back into UK stock. There's been an issue over here that exactly the same for you over there. You can't find one anywhere. So that Smiths, which is one of our big toy like superstores, has kind of had them back online. But if there's anything to go by from this time last year when they were putting them out online, like they were available for 10, 15 minutes and then it was all out. So, but it's good news that they're starting to drip feed back in. So hopefully there'll be somewhere because it's Christmas time. So
now I hear you can find them if you search them out. If you really like, you keep your ear to the ground. You contact Solo something and be like, listen, this is what I need, Solo, and he'll probably find it somewhere like in 5 seconds. But
yeah,
for the average folk, it's a little hard. It's still hard
to get. So the story behind me getting my Xbox Series X was that I used an app called Hotstock IO, and I don't know if they've got a similar kind of app for you guys in the US, but it kind of it pinged constantly. The app constantly pinged every website, and as soon as there was stock available, I got a notification on my phone. Like open that notification, takes you straight to the website that it's like in stock on, and you can order it. So that's the only way I did it.
Yeah, I got mine day and date. I don't even know how. I mean, it was the stupidest thing in the world. I got to work. I opened my computer. I'm like, all right, here we go. Had my stuff all entered into Walmart, and I'm like, buy. And it was like, I don't know, a minute maybe since everything started, and they were like, yeah, we're sold out. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And so then I just called up GameStop, and I was like, hey, and we live in a podunk place, right? So I was like, whatever. And he was like, yeah. He was like, we have some still here. We still have some pre-orders available. He was like, but I can't do it over the phone, so you have to actually come in to do it. And I was like 20 minutes away. I was like, well, you know what? Let's give it a shot. So off to GameStop I went, and lo and behold, when I got there, and to be fair, I have an S, so don't you people judge, okay? I like my little bitty S. It's nice. And I was like, hey, what do you have? He's like, all we have left is one Xbox Series S pre-order. And I was like, I'll take it. And then, yeah. So, God bless you, GameStop. You get a lot of crap, but you saved my butt.
To be honest, I don't use the disk drive on my X much. I think I put Call of Duty in when I first got it out of the box, and I haven't took Call of Duty out since. So that's the only disc that I ever put in. So, yeah.
I don't regret my purchase at this point. At some point, maybe I could see myself getting an X. Like, I mean, I still do not have a 4K TV down here. I don't even know. I bought a new one because mine crapped out, and that one was like 20 years old. So, I think this is like 1080p. I think. I don't even know what this thing does. Anyways, it looks pretty enough to me. So maybe, like when I upgrade, I have this old monitor. You guys should see this thing. It's the square kind, right? Like the old square kind of monitors. It's not a fat back, okay? It is like an LCD monitor. It's just the old square kind. So this is gonna die at some point. I found it at like a garage sale for like $5. So whenever this dies, maybe when I replace this, I'll get like a 4K monitor, and then I'll be like, okay, now it's time to get an X. But yeah, right now I love my ass.
Yep. The only other bit of news really that was new-ish on the Xbox website is their current event that they've got going on, and that's that Xbox is celebrating the Hispanic Heritage Month. So I'll take a quick read from it so we can kind of have an understanding. So at Xbox, from game development to hardware design, representations and the diversity of our teams positively impacts the way we create and bring products to life that make gaming possible and accessible for everyone. So they're doing, and I think that this is a kind of winged at the fact that Forza Horizon 5 is like in like Mexico, so obviously that's a big center for diversity, culture, beauty, and things like that. So they're kind of like they're doing a really good job of it, and it is very nice. They're kind of honoring the Hispanic Heritage Month at Xbox. Is our hope that we can showcase our unique voices and endless pursuit of inclusion, representation, and community. Below are a few ways that the Xbox is celebrating, and you can get engaged and make an impact. So Microsoft Rewards, which is the like what you can do with Game Pass and things like that. So Microsoft Reward members in the United States can earn points for donation in support of Latinx in gaming. It's a non-profit that connects Latinos across the game industry, promotes cultural appreciation and representation in games and game-related content. You can also use those points to contribute to their to CARE, which is an organization that works around the globe to save lives, defeat poverty, and achieve social justice in 100 countries, including Latin America and the Caribbean. It's a great way for Xbox to use their reward program that actually impacts certain people. They're also highlighting certain games that have got developers and publishers that are Latino and have the Hispanic backgrounds. So jump on the Xbox website, have a look through. If there's any games that catch your eye, I think those games have got more the reward points you'll get from playing those games, which I think some of them are on Game Pass. So you can get
I
donated.
always think this is a cool thing they do. I mean, having just kind of jumped back into the Xbox ecosystem. I get stuck on like one number. I've been saying like in the last 6 months for I don't know, probably the last 6 months.
The last 6 months.
So now we're almost on to a year to be honest. Bruce is in overtime tonight and he's got to go back to work. Bruce, don't work too hard, man. We really, really appreciate you coming out just to say hey. Have a good, not too much work rest of your work. Having jumped back into the ecosystem here in this last year, I really appreciate how they do continually kind of come around any group of people when they're in the spotlight to say, hey, let's rally around these people. I think the community they've built between the ambassador program that they got going on and doing stuff like this is just it's really commendable. They do a really good job of it. So happy to be part of it.
Yep.
Before we move on to our discussion topic, on the Forza Horizon thing, can I tell you, I am oddly excited for Forza Horizon. I don't know if it's just because I'm like, hey, I'm gonna play with Sean, that'll be fun. I mean, anybody who listens to this podcast at all knows that I'm not a big car racing video game guy, but I am seriously oddly excited. I'm like, I actually looked up. I was like, when is it coming? Because I'm pumped. So I don't know what it is about it, but I can't wait to. Maybe it's the pinata mode that got me all super excited for it, but I'm in, man. I wanna drive these cars and see what this is all about.
Yeah, for me, it's the exploration side of it. So there's going to be loads of stuff that, like they said in the direct for it, that there's so much stuff you can be doing as well as the racing.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be I think it's going to be a fresh take on. Obviously, it's the 5th game, so it's it's going to be a fresh take on the previous 4, with all the power and color of the next gen console. So
yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm excited. Anyways, discussion topic. So, even the Switch has this Marvel game coming out, and I'm not gonna listen. Let me preface this, folks. I am not a superhero fanatic, so I'm probably gonna f this all up. But that's why Sean's here to pick up my slack and really have a good conversation. So, PlayStation has got the Spider-Man stuff all wrapped up, pun intended. Marvel,
And you can also say they're on point with Wolverine.
yeah.
So.
Oh, that's good. That was a sharp joke. I really liked it. You got your claws out today, I can tell. Um, even the Switch has superhero video games coming out, Marvel or something like that. I don't know what's coming out, but something.
Yeah.
Xbox has Dilly Squat. Is that a problem for Xbox?
No, I think they've got a lot.
Good conversation. Let's move on.
Yeah, they've got so much going on, like because they've got like Halo come in, they've got Battlefield as a exclusive. So why when they've got two big games coming like this, do they need to worry about the superhero world?
It's true. Like, I mean, I get what you're saying. I just wonder. I don't know how much those games move consoles or move. I mean, and Xbox doesn't care about consoles really. They care about subscriptions.
I got my PS4 to play Spider-Man, The Last of Us, and was going to be God of War, but I never got around to playing it. So yeah, they can shift consoles based on that, but they'd struggle because those Spider-Man games are banging, like proper. I absolutely playing Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4, so not the newest one. Took me straight back. It had all the nostalgia of playing. I think it was Spider-Man 2, where you could swing through. Because I absolutely loved that game on the PS2. Took me all the way back to that, but then like how beautiful, how beautiful the game looked. You could climb all the way to the highest point in New York and look around, and like how it all flowed. You could make him do different flips, different poses. It just, yeah. And then like being able to unlock all different bits and pieces for your suit, all different kinds of suits as well, and then all the DLC they brought with it. They did a really good job. I think Microsoft and Xbox would probably struggle to make a game as good as that, unless they kind of thought, we're a more grown-up console. Let's get Deadpool and we'll make a really awesome Deadpool game, which I'd be down for that.
Yeah, and you mean you're right. I mean, if it's a shitty Spider-Man game, it's not going to move subscriptions. It's not so much that it's a Spider-Man game. That certainly helps because the game is stellar. It just adds on another layer that now it's also Spider-Man. It's a stellar Spider-Man game, and that's great. If it was a shitty Spider-Man game, nobody would really care. There's a Superman game on a Nintendo console a while back. Okay, a long while back. I'm old. That was really shitty and nobody cared about it. So yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you. I don't think they don't need good superhero games. This is an Xbox podcast, so I'm sorry, but they don't need good superhero games. They just need good games.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they tried to do this free roam style Batman that they did with Spider-Man, and I never played that because it never struck me as a game that I'd want to play. So I think it was just because it was Spider-Man. So that's kind of sold it for me.
Yeah, I got you. And I mean, listen, kudos to PlayStation. They're a banging couple weeks here, right? I mean, they got Deathloop, which people are still talking about. crazy reviews. Ironically, as we said last week, put out by a Microsoft studio. And then they just had Kena drop, which also, I mean, I saw that game and I was like, oh, this looks so pretty. Like I would be in to play this game. So they're having a banging couple weeks. So, and I mean, I have no problem with that. I think that's great. If PlayStation does good, it only pushes Xbox studios to try to do as good. So, yeah, but I think it's really cool. And I did just think it was an interesting topic. About whether Xbox should join the superhero bandwagon or not. I mean, what's another few billion to grab them, to grab something else, I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's just the issue. It's like you said, they could rush and try and do it and make an absolute bodge of it, which then would leave everybody with a bad taste. So it's probably one of the reasons why they haven't. They've kind of looked and gone, okay, Sony, you've done an extremely good job with that game. We can't match. So, well done.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and that makes sense. And you know what? If they put out in the next couple of years a really amazing Fable game, then they'll have their own really awesome superhero game. They just
Yep.
really have to nail that game and the mechanics and all that jazz.
Which is probably why we've not heard anything about it for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you got to take your time because I would rather play an awesome Fable game in 2 to 3 years than mediocre to crappy Fable game next year. That's just a
Yeah.
fact. So. Well, all right, Sean. That's the top stories, man. That's all we got. Short. It was a short week between records, and then Xbox does like to do this, where they're like, "Hey, here's a bazillion games that we're gonna be playing coming soon," and then the coming soon is like they crap them all out in a week for Game Pass. It's just like one after another. And last
Yeah.
week was certainly that week, and then they kind of go low for a little bit. Um, and we have some bigger games coming up in about a week, but and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Sean, as we alluded to, played 2.5 hours on stream, beat the whole game of
Yep.
Subliminal. Am I
It's
superliminal or subliminal?
superliminal.
Hell, I've been saying it wrong this whole time. All right,
Yeah.
tell me about it. I'm going to shut up.
So the game was originally released back in 2019, and it's a perspective puzzle game. And when I say perspective puzzle game, basically the way that you manipulate the object determines how the object interacts. So, like the bit that you jumped in on while I was on the stream was
Mm.
the exit sign. Now, I walked around that room for ages trying to find something to interact with, and I was like, okay, I'm getting to the point where I'm walking around the same spots. I can't do anything with it. And then, like, I noticed that one of the fire exit signs I could pick up, and I was like, okay. But you can imagine a fire exit sign exactly isn't much bigger than a piece of A4 paper folded in half. So you've kind of got to like walk up to the object, interact with it, like look up a little bit, drop the object, and it suddenly becomes maybe 3 or 4 times bigger. You can keep repeating that process to make it so big that you can create, like I did, a ramp or a bridge to get out of the situation that you're in. And it can do completely the same to do something so smaller. So there was a bit where I was stuck inside this box, and all that was inside this box was 2 doorways, and they linked each other together. So if I walked through one doorway, I popped out the other one, but they were in exactly the same room. And I needed there was like a tiny key, like when I looked at it, there was this really tiny keyhole. So I kind of needed to make myself really small by making one doorway bigger. So when I walked through it, it kind of changed the perspective of the room to make the room look really big and make you seem really small. So then I could pick up the other doorway, put it inside the keyhole, go back through the door. So then I was standing in the entrance of the keyhole to then pick something else up from another room to bring it in to alter that object to then be able to interact with that. So, and it was like that throughout the whole game. It was like you constantly having to think outside the box, and the music was really chilled. So like it was either like jazz kind of lo-fi stuff to then
Mm-hmm.
lo-fi hip hop beats and things like that. So the music in the background was really really cool as well. As I got towards the end of the game, it kind of spun the story of like the whole reason why you're doing what you're doing is to give you a completely different aspect and look of life. So to make you think outside the box, to be able to see everything from every angle, so then you can really see things for how they are. And they did a really good job of that. I mean, the publisher Pillowcase did an absolutely awesome job.
Great name. Love it.
Yeah, did and especially a developer and a publisher called Pillowcase that made a game about sleeping and having subliminal messages in your mind while sleeping. Ironic.
Nicely
But
done.
yeah, they did a really good job of making the game frustratingly difficult because I did at one point have to Google how to do something. But at the same time, so interesting that like I only meant to do a half an hour stream, and I played the game from end to end, and and then had to go and rush a 6 kilometer run really quick before I picked the kids up because like I needed to get that run done today. And so yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's available. It's been available on the Switch for a while to buy, and the video I watched of it being played through made me really dubious about spending money on it. Now I've played it, I'd have quite happily spent like £20, $20 on that game. It's fantastic.
That's awesome. I feel like I want to break it out only because when I watched you play it, as I told you before we started podcasting, it looked like you were having like it was like it not you, but like it was tough to get the object to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah, you can pick something up and put something down, and you can rotate it through its. Let me think about this. For its X and Y axis. So basically, if like if you could only rotate it, I'm holding a remote by the way. You could only rotate it like that way.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't rotate it over, which is what I
Sure.
was trying to do for a while. I was trying to rotate when we first told you to rotate stuff. I was trying to make something move in a certain way, but you kind of had to just pick it up and drop it and hope that it flipped the way you wanted it to flip. Now that could just be me. I could have been missing a button that I had to press, but basically, yeah. And then there was there's like if there was changes to the controls, they let you know, but it wasn't a super big way of letting you know. So it wasn't like a pop-up on the screen. There would literally just be a sign that said, do this, and this might happen. And it's like if you didn't spot that sign, you'd struggle really bad. So
Gotcha. And just to call out here, Abyssal, I do not have any Brooks controller adapters or Brook controller adapters. So if there's a reason he asked us, do we have any Brook controller adapters? Do you, Sean?
not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. So I'm with you. So is there a reason? Like, do we need these things? Are they good, bad, indifferent? Give us the lowdown, Abyssal. So, anything else on Superliminal? Now that I know how to pronounce it correctly.
Other than if you've got Game Pass, go and try it because you will enjoy some aspects of it. The controls weren't that clunky. They were a bit like difficult to get used to at first, but once I got them, it was great. So, but yeah, I'm now looking at what a Brook controller adapter is.
Yeah. So okay. So now here's where things get interesting. I was on here last week talking about how cool I Am Fish is. You get on, and your thoughts of I Am Fish is go.
Is that I rage quit and uninstalled the game.
Awesome.
I see.
That's why there's two of us, folks.
Yeah, it had a very Hello Neighbor-esque feel to the physics of the game, which that game annoyed the living crap out of me for the physics side of like being able to do something and then have to get. So like how the fish responded in the ball was a bit too slow for me. And I also found it that you could roll down the wires at first and like roll all the way down that really, really fast and hit something at the bottom and not smash. But if I dropped off a ledge that seemed like an inch too high, it would smash. So there was all that. And then the respawn points seemed really far away. Like the bit that made me uninstall a game was you end up in a cylindrical style jar, which obviously you can't roll in all different directions like you can a sphere. You can only roll it one way, and then you've got to kind of get it to turn to then carry on. And I struggled with a section of the game, and I got stuck in the graphics, and then got unstuck from the graphics. But as it got unstuck, it decided to fling me like completely off the side of the map and smash on the floor. And then the respawn point for it was really far back, and I was like, nah, I'm done. That's me. I'm out. So yeah, it was fun to that point. So the controlling the fish in the pond environments and stuff like that, and in the sewer environment stuff was fun, and in the ball was fun to an aspect. I did try to then start looking for all the bread and doing all the different unlocks that you can do in the levels. But yeah, I might go back to it. I was kind of like, I spent an hour trying to play the game, and yeah, I was hoping for more.
Well, that's a shame. I really liked it. And for those of you who might have been watching, I was yelling at Alexa to tell my kids to stop running upstairs. So that's why I would look like I was screaming, even though you couldn't hear me. Um, yeah, I mean, you are right. So when you're rolling down, you definitely had to like think about what you wanted to do before you did it. And so there's certainly that point. Yeah, and you had to land on flowers or whatever. Now you did get to the cylinder spot, and I will say that is the ending of that whole fish. So I liken it kind of to the boss battle. Um, but hey, like I said, different. Like I said in that's why there's two of us. We have different opinions. So that's cool. I understand. I don't know if I'll get to play the other fish. There's part of me that would like to jump on and play one of the other. I think there's 5 fish altogether. Once you beat that cylinder part, the other four fish become unlock and become available. So I'd like to see a little bit about what their journey is, but I don't know if I'll get there. So what is your last?
Just very quickly going to Ebisel's question about book controller adapters. No, looking at them, they are a way of allowing you to use different controllers with your console. So it's like a USB plug-in adapter that I think, looking at them without looking at them into great detail, allows you to either connect wirelessly, or in some cases you use your PlayStation 2 controller as an Xbox One controller. So there's a wide variety of different ones. Which, yeah, they seem pretty cool. I've got the Elite Series 1 and probably won't venture too far away from it. So
I know you're married to that thing. I totally get it though. You get you love a controller you have, and that makes sense to me. Yeah, that's an interesting. I didn't even know that existed, to be able to use like a PlayStation controller on your Xbox console. But that's very cool. I mean, obviously you can do it on like xCloud and stuff like that with like your Apple device, or any other xCloud device. There are many. So Ebisel's asking, did you only play fish in a mason jar? No, I mean, as far as both of us got, you were in a mason jar, you were in ponds, in the sewer, in a mop bucket.
That bit was fun with Greg.
That was
Greg's bucket.
Yeah, that part had a feel of Untitled Goose Game to me, which actually was probably one of the most enjoyable sections of that game, just because you got that guy running after you, and so yeah, but so no, you were in all kinds of things you were in all kinds of things, all those things I just mentioned. Anything else you've been playing?
I have been playing on the mobile phone, Portal, the bridge constructor game. And I've been playing it on the phone because it is available on Game Pass to get. I've currently got it sat. I'm staring at it now on my TV. I have downloaded it. I'm gonna do a stream of it because I think it's a really good. Well, I'm gonna see how it plays first before I stream it. But it's a good laugh on the phone, and it's very much got the whole aperture aperture laboratories feel. So you've got like the GLaDOS, which kind of gives you really sarcastic remarks and things like that. And yeah, it's just been fun to play on the phone. So I want to see if that carries over, and like the ease of use carries over onto the console.
Yeah, and that game is available pretty much everywhere. I mean, you can get it on the Switch, you can get it Game Pass, you can get. I actually didn't realize it was a mobile thing as well, so that's cool. That was news to me.
So how about you, Nick? What have you been playing?
Well, I have on here Psychonauts 2, and I'm not gonna lie, I have not played it since Thursday. I need to get back to it. I have said this. I do not want this game to fall into I don't even call it backlog anymore. My my sample pond of games, okay? It's too good to get that kind of treatment. So I'm going to leave it on here as a reminder to play it every week until I get this game beat. Because it is too good to fall on the wayside. Um, Although a game I have been playing, and pretty much the reason I haven't been playing Psychonauts 2, I picked up Origami 2 just to kind of get a feel for it. I do like my stealthy games. Was a big Splinter Cell fan back in the day. Um, so I was like, you know what? I'll pick this up and see. I love a ninja game. Um, and so I thought, well, yeah, sure, I'll see what it's all about. Oh boy, this game is fun. I mean, I'll admit it's not the most polished ninja stealth game you'll find. There are some things you do where you're like, well, that's ridiculous that he didn't just like see me, like I don't know, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but there are things I've done where I'm like, how did you not see me just drag that drag that body? Or I don't understand why when you cleanly slice somebody with this blade, it leaves this gigantic, like huge, I don't know, it seems like it's like a 10 by 10 area of like blood all over the place. And so you like take out this guy and you throw him into the weeds, and then his partner just like walks by you as you're hiding in the weeds and just basically like walks over the guy's blood. And you're like, okay. So you got to get past a little bit of that stuff, but if you can do that, you like a stealthy game, check this game out. I've been having a lot of fun with it. You go in, there's a lot of different things you can do. You jump in, you have one objective. It's really, somewhat akin to like a stealthy puzzle board, to be honest. There's guys all over. You have all these, you continually add to your ninja skills. All you have to do is get the objective and get out. But then there are extras you can do, like kill everybody, or don't kill anybody, or never get detected, all that jazz. So you can do like these extra bonus objectives as well. I have played, I think, five or six different levels, and had a ton of fun with it. So that has pretty much been the only game that I have touched in the last I don't know, since Thursday when we last chatted.
I'm gonna say you've been very busy. You've had a poly wife, kids, fairs, so
darn real life, I tell you.
Dar. Yeah, it gets in the way of things.
Why can't I just sit here and play games all day long?
So shall we move into breaking news and what games are out this week? As I think that's all changed.
Yeah. So they're not out as of right now, just as an FYI. They're not out as of this live recording, but if you are listening to this in the podcast form, doing that whole like time flippy, time travel-y thingy-majigger, then they're available right now. They come out the 23rd. And there are 3 of them, to be fair.
There is. So Lost Worlds Beyond the Page, obviously available September 23rd. Sable, which is the next one, is also available September 23rd, and Subnautica Below Zero, which I believe you were interested in.
I am very interested in this game. If I have time, I will stream it before I take off on vacation, but I won't promise that'll happen. It'll be, what is the 23rd is Thursday, correct?
Yeah, you go the Saturday?
Yeah, we go Saturday, and Friday I have agreed to volunteer at a booth from 9 to 5 at the fair. So yeah, I don't know how much time I'll have. I have a feeling I will be recruited for like packing kit. I'll be all packed by then. I'm pretty quick, and I try to get it all done pretty.
Are you one of those guys that kind of goes to your drawer and just goes, that'll do?
Pretty much. And so I'll be all done, but I'm pretty sure I will be recruited to pack children's clothes for staying at Yaya's or something like that. So, but yeah, I am very interested. Subnautica is a crafty game. See how far you can get in the depths of this ocean. So yeah, I'm excited to see what it's all about. And like I said, if I have a second, I might check it out.
Yeah. So So what we'll do, we'll move on to answering some of the questions that we get in the party chat from our friends over at Discord. We'll start with the one that we missed. Well, we didn't miss it last week. It came late, but we,
Dang, you just
polite.
called him out right here, Sean. You're like, well, it was his fault. He came late.
No, we missed it. We were in the middle of recording. I didn't see the notification from Discord, so no, we missed it. So from SAZ, what Game Pass game has the most replay value to you?
This is what do you think? What do you think my answer is, Sean?
Grounded.
Yep, easy answer for me. Grounded is my answer. It is by far the game I've played the most on Game Pass.
It is. If you give me a second while you talk about why, maybe. But
yeah, I mean, it's just it ticks every box for me. It's exploration, it's survival, it's crafting, it's creativity, and actually the last little bit that I absolutely love, there is kind of like a dungeon crawly Zelda aspect to the game, at least in the very beginning. That tends to fade away, which is unfortunate after you have gotten all the little pieces. But all those things are like it's just a game for me wrapped up basically in a present. So yeah.
And to prove how much here you've enjoyed the game and how much replay value it has to you, you've put 5 days, 17 hours, and 10 minutes. That's going back to the Animal Crossing days, but yeah, that's an impressive amount. It's a good.
Yeah, I played the crap out of that game, sure, and I will come back to it once they. So Ebicil's asking how far did you move the arachnophobia setting? So, the game I mean, real quick, I've done this before. You shrink down. It's like Honey I Shrunk the Kids. You're in the backyard, and so spiders are a thing. And there is a arachnophobia setting on the game where you can move it so that they become like these little blobs. I'm not gonna lie, Ebisil. I never moved the arachnophobia setting at all. I don't really care about the spiders, but I have seen what they look like on other people's streams. I think they look creepier. I'm not gonna lie. They're like these little circular blobs with eyes. I mean, I don't know. They look creepy to me.
Yeah, and they come out anywhere to get you. So
yeah, exactly. So, but I do think it's cool that it's in there for anybody who has that phobia, to keep them from to allow them to be able to play the game still. So if you have a phobia of spiders, then sure, you'd probably rather see around circles. So that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
what about you?
My answer to this question, and I'm only going to say it. Well, I don't know if I can say it because it's no longer available on Game Pass, but it was Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, you just missed the boat on that one, didn't you?
Yeah, it's just come away from that, but it's been on Game Pass for 2 years, I think, something silly like that. It's been there for a while. But yeah, that game had the most replay value to the point, if we want to talk times.
Oh, I do.
I spent 23 days, 1 hour and 24 minutes in the actual main game. So, that's nearly 24 days playing the actual main game. Playing Grand Theft Auto Online. Xbox have done this really awful thing of keeping them separated in time. I spent 25 days, 9 hours, 50 minutes, and 39 seconds playing online on Grand Theft Auto.
Wait, we need to do the math. Is that more time than I spent in?
We're going to do this by hours now, are we?
55 divided by 24. Actually, I don't remember where I ended up.
600 hours.
Well, not between the two, right? 23 and 25.
Oh, okay, all right. We're going to go that way.
I still think I had more hours than Animal Crossing.
1,152.
Yeah,
hours.
I think I did.
You just topped me, but yeah, earning a total amount of cash on GTA Online, which I wish I had in real life, of $87.3 million.
Dang, man.
Yeah, the reasons for this is I just don't have a life.
No, that's not true at all.
I used to play with a couple of guys. One of the guys that I met in one of the baby groups I used to take Logan to, not Logan, Emily, sorry. So we've known each other a fair few years. I used to play with him, with Gareth, He's like one of my top friends on Xbox. And Lucy and Dan and a couple of other guys. And we just used to do all the missions all the time. So like I had all the different businesses that you could unlock, you know, and stuff like that. So we just basically we used to just help each other every night, do all the crystal meth deliveries, all the like nightclub scenario missions. We used to just help each other, and like you could like the cash that you got from that got split between you all. So we just kind of used to do that all the time. And then when they opened up the casino on Grand Theft Auto Online, they then opened up the casino heist where you could rob the casino, and we became very proficient at that. So we used to just do that every night, and that was it. So every night it was we'd rob the casino and then we'd drive around Los Santos selling drugs.
I don't. I love it. I don't know if you see Albizcel's question. He says, "You need to buy more properties, sir." And then you said you owned them all, and he's like, "Oh." Which, by the way, hey Hambone Johnny, how you doing? Hey, have you beat Spinch yet? I lurked a little bit in the last one. That was like a very interesting game, but I didn't get to stay and see if you got through the whole thing. So let me know. I'm interested. Hambone Johnny, awesome dude. He streams on the regular, and he's been streaming this one game trying to get through. I should say much more dedication than me, as I said I was going to stream one game one time, and I fell off halfway through, maybe 1/3 of the way through. Anyways, so yeah, go check out his stuff. It's pretty cool.
He says it glitched.
Oh no, that's a bummer. That always sucks, man. Sorry to hear about that. So. Yeah, there's a question.
While Johnny Hammer and Johnny's here in the chat, we'll answer his question next.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, what themed Series S or X console would you like to see? So, like, how would you like to dress your Series S?
Mm-hmm. So, if seriously, if there was a console that if there was something that would make me rebuy or buy another Xbox or something like that, a really hot looking Fable Series X Xbox could make me do it. Like give me a really hot looking one, wrap it with like evil on one side and good on the other.
Yeah, like whole yin and yang kind of thing.
Yeah. I would be down for this, and I might possibly buy it and then just sell this guy. What about
you? See, I like the black. It blends with like how my setup is, so I'd struggle. But if they started putting like you could add lights to it, I'd have it so like you could have different lights. So different things like if you got a notification like the top of the Xbox lit up red, or you get an achievement and it like big flash of green goes up right from the back of the TV. I'd love that. So
you know what they need to do? They need to do a Batman thing. So like, there's like the light at the top of the X. They need to let it like shine through so that it illuminates on the top of your ceiling like a little like you have a notification. That would be the best thing in the world. Or like I'm in a game and I'm asking you if you want help, and it's like boom, or like I need help, or do you want to play? And it's like boom, Nintendo needs help. That would be great. Yeah. Send out a bat signal. That would be fantastic.
I mean, I've toyed with have you seen those things you can get that attached to like it's like a playthrough into your telly, and it picks up off the HDMI and it like lights the TV up in different areas behind it. I've been kind of looking into those, but I don't trust how good they are, because I think some games, especially Psychonauts, would be really, really trippy with the colors extending away from the TV all the way around. So, yeah.
Ebiasel says Catherine full body. So, there you go. That's one for you. You can get your Xbox wrapped in Catherine full body.
Claptrap. See, the Xbox is named Claptrap on the home network from Borderlands. So if I could dress it up like a little tiny Claptrap, that would be awesome. So, like, if I tell our in-house artificial intelligence, I'm not going to mention the name of this intelligence because she tends to start doing weird stuff in the house. But if I shout her and tell her to turn Claptrap on, she turns my Xbox on, which turns the TV on. So, like, I can be downstairs and be like, oh, the house is empty. The kids, no kids. I'm going to make myself a snack and play on the Xbox. So, shout it from the kitchen and walk upstairs, and it's like
That's
literally turned
awesome.
on.
That's
So,
fantastic. Now I have to look up what Claptrap looks like. And also, I just kind of want to yell it right now, but I won't because I'm nice that way.
you see, she got hit.
Oh, okay.
But
Bummer.
basically, he's like a tiny little yellow, almost rectangular shaped robot on one wheel.
Yes,
So
it
it'd be
is.
perfect.
I'm not gonna lie. When I thought of Claptrap, I thought of Donkey Kong Country, but that's just because it's a unicycle robot. Yeah, yeah, and Abusel's 100% right. That's exactly what it is. I like it. Pretty cool.
He does not show up. That's why I like him. The first game, it's like one of the first people you meet in the game, and he's just he's so funny, such a comedian. So I can't wait for the live action film to come out because I think Jack Black is apparently playing his voice. It's just going to be hilarious.
What was I had something, and then I forgot. Whatever. All right. What's our next question?
So we've got 3 questions from Tim. As always, he drops some very, very interesting questions. I'll go with what will be the big deal announcement at the Game Awards for Xbox in November?
Well, it's November. Forza's out, and Halo Infinite's a month away. And are they
Fable news?
What?
Would we get Fable news? Is that Game Awards? Is that for like? I don't know what the Game Awards are. For somebody who plays a lot of games, this event's kind of gone over my head.
So the Game Awards are, and I mean, I don't even know why this guy's so. Other than maybe he just got himself there. I don't know what he did previously, but Jeff Keighley does these awards, this whole award ceremony where they give out awards for like the best video game, best family game, game of the year, all this jazz, and he's made it into a pretty big thing, it seems like to me. And a lot of times at this deal they do like world premieres, so they show things off that games off that we maybe not seen, or new pieces and parts of a game. I did wonder if you're gonna do a world if you're gonna do something that hasn't been seen yet, you could unveil like Halo Infinite's Forge mode and give us a first look into that, which isn't due out until like February of 2022, something like that. Don't think they're going to give the Game Awards something as big as Fable. I just don't think. Or maybe you give a new 15, 20, 30 second trailer snippet of Starfield. I could see that happening too.
Okay, so, fair enough. So right, okay. So it's a bit like the BAFTAs for games, but then they also like to drop in like big announcements. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'd go with the Halo stuff that's not due for till February, or maybe just like some more Horizons Motorsport. Mm-hmm. Not Horizon, just like the actual racing game.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with Simple Monk in the chat. Hello there. I'd like some Fable news, and I'm pretty sure Nick would as well. So.
Oh, I would absolutely love Fable news. I just don't think they're going to give it to the Game Award. And there's something going on there. They're not as far along as they thought they would be. You know how those things go. Something happened, and that's cool. I have no problem with that. I'd rather them, like I said before, I'd rather him get it right, and don't give me 10 dates. Don't pull a Halo and tell me it's gonna come like in the spring of 2022, and then tell me it's gonna come in holiday, and then tell me half the game's coming in holiday 2023. Just shut up until you know you have a solid date. That's all. I don't need this. Don't make my heart go up and down. But I'm with Simple Monk for sure.
Yeah. Tim's other question: when are we getting an Xbox dock? He goes on to explain that a dock that allows the user to play their Nintendo games on the go or on the dock, or Xbox games via the cloud, are downloaded to the dock. So is he kind of hinting at when our Xbox going to do something similar to the Switch?
Maybe. I'm a little confused on a dock that allows the user to play their Nintendo games on the go or on the dock.
He might
Or
mean Xbox games.
Does he mean Xbox games? You're like, I don't know. It's not my question. Shut up.
Yep.
That's the part that throws me off. Because, I mean, Xbox has said, hey, we're working on an app for TVs. We're working on USB sticks. We're working on all this stuff. Man, when are we going to see it?
Hey, it could be at the Game Awards.
It could be.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a pretty sweet announcement. Yeah, I could definitely see that being. You think it's like an Xbox deck, like so Ebucel's saying like the stream.
The Steam Deck.
No, the Steam Deck. Gosh darn it, Ebucel. You got me doing it. Ebucel corrected himself, but I still read it just how we put it. So yeah, maybe that's what he's talking about. We've chatted about this. I don't think we're gonna see something like that. I just don't think we're going to. I think if they were gonna do it, they would have done it by now.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, and the last question he kind of asked, and I've saved it to last because it'd be an interesting one to go out on from the party chat section. Which Xbox Game Pass game would be the best to play if you were high or buzzed? Responsibly, of course. He adds. So,
you go first. I've been answering first the whole time, so you go first.
I like to play. When I've had a few beers, what do I like to play? Normally, I like to play. I used to like to play Grand Theft Auto because I used to be absolutely rubbish at driving the trucks in Grand Theft Auto on the missions. I was never ever allowed to drive the truck unless I'd had a few beers because I'd always crash it. I'd always overthink things and end up smashing it into something and blowing it up. So literally the question that I used to get asked is, how many beers have you had? Oh, I've had about 3 or 4. Okay, you can drive the truck now. So yeah, that or Call of Duty, because it just used to get funny. I used to just be like, again, not very calculated, and I'd rush every player that we came across. I'd just rush them. 9 times out of 10, I'd have to be rescued by other people, but it was funny. So
I would say, I mean, just because it's coming up next, and I think it's funny because wait, let me back that up from what I was about to say. Okay, drinking and driving's not funny. Okay, but
if you're gonna do it virtually.
Yeah, do it exactly. Thank you for saving me. I was trying to figure out a way to say this in a way that didn't sound. It's funny when you drink and drive. It's not funny when you drink and drive. But if you're gonna do it on Forza Horizon when it drops in November because nobody gets hurt.
Apart from all those little pinatas.
Exactly.
If you can hit them.
yeah, probably hit everything but the pinata. So, yeah, I think that would be. I think that'd be pretty fun. Tetris, Hambone Johnny drops Tetris Effect. That's a little psychedelic right there. Man, you really be.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if my eyes could handle that with a few beers.
Geometry Wars Evolved would probably be the Xbox version of Tetris Effect, so because that was a crazy game.
Yeah, that's probably true. Hey, did you see? There's one in here from John. Do you want to save that for later? I know we're kind of moving short on time. Long in the tooth, short in time left.
I think he actually added for the show topic for next time round, I believe.
Good. Well, you all can do that when you talk about what you're doing when you do that thing that you're going to talk about.
Yeah, give the game away.
The golden ticket. Tell me about this golden ticket.
The golden ticket has finally changed. So Warhammer Chaos Bane is still there and it's still available till September 30th. But Mulaka, which was like the stripped back Phoenix Horizon style game that I talked about last week, is now available. And that's available through till the 15th of October. And Samurai Showdown as 2 has arrived, which is also available to October 15th. So look these games up on YouTube. If they interest you, they're currently free. They would have cost you money, and they are yours to keep if you claim them. So go for it.
And what is on our horizon? Really, guys, I mean, we already chatted about most of this stuff in the previous weeks. Not a whole lot has changed. Lemnis Gate comes out on 9/28/21. That's probably the most recent one, or the one that's not probably. That is the one coming out next. Unless Xbox tells us something. Our bye-bye, well, it's the same as well. That hasn't changed either. September 31st, Drake Hollow, Eichenfell, Night in the Woods, Kathy Rain, and Warhammer Vermintide all drop off of our Xbox service. So that's that.
Yeah. What have you got lined up to play? Or is that is vacay your passive? I might not be able to get anything because I'm going on vacation.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what this is gonna look like. This is the first cruise we've ever taken, so I have no idea if I will be playing anything on this vacation. My wife, I think signed us up for pretty much everything possible, so I have a feeling like I won't have a single bit of time for anything. So we'll see how that works. So yeah, I would not commit to anything on my dashboard at this point other than vacation.
Oh, well, that's cool. Do that because you've been waiting 2 years for this. It's your anniversary.
Yeah,
go do it and go enjoy it. Enjoy it to the absolute max. So, for me, I've still got Quake on there. That's still there. Hades is still on there. I do want to play that because I like Greek mythology, so I think I'll enjoy the mythology side of it, but I'm not entirely sure that the constant repetitiveness will get to me very quickly. So that's why I want to play it. I want to do a stream of it because I want to share that feeling. And then the other one, which I've just added, is Bridge Constructor Portal, just to see if the playability comes from mobile, if it follows through. So I've literally loaded up the first level, and the first level on the console game is exactly the first level that you play on the mobile game. So, yep. And
sorry, my kids are being really loud, so I'm sorry for the pops in and out, but I got kids running up the stairs, so I'm trying to make my mic not pop when I hit the mute. So I'm very sorry, but so yeah, bring it. You do the rest of it, except mention likes if we're not likes, but if we can get some on the podcast, on our Apple podcast, if you guys do that, if we can get some ratings and some people to say how much they love us, and as Justin says for the Nintendo dads, if you don't, that's fine. Then just don't do anything. But if you do, then that 5-star rating would be great. We could really use some of those, and a couple comments would be great. If anybody here is interested, that would be awesome. I am going to let Sean talk for the rest of
it. So yeah, the only other bit of information I've got coming from us this week is while Nick is away, for the next podcast, which I'm going to do live, may or may not contain video. I'm going to see if I can stream to Twitch for just audio only. That's mainly because my system does not handle everything all at once, or it kind of pushes its limits at what we're doing now. So yeah, but while Nick's away, I've kind of organized for 3 of our community members from Discord to join the show with me, which is Esco Richard, Hambo and Johnny, and Shiv UK. So I've got a fellow Brit joining the podcast. Nick's doing a little dance. So yeah, we're going to get together. We're going to chat all different things Xbox. We're going to have a chat about with each other, get to know each other, and what kind of games we play, different takes on games. So yeah, I've got those guys have all got information from me that they know about. So they know our talking points for that episode. I'm not going to spoil any more further than that, other than it's going to be awesome to chat with other people, other than Nick. So after that little bit of information, that's it for this week. There's nothing else to add. Nick's currently smiling, so I'll carry on. Give us a follow on all the different socials. We've got Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. If you listen to this via a podcast, please give us a star rating, leave some feedback, some comments, some information. It's all great. It means we can make better content for you. Also means that we move up that board and people can find us and we can keep growing and making more stuff for you. If you want to get in on the action over on Discord and talk to us there, ask any questions, head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. Little as $1 a month gets you the access to Discord, gets you access to their Patreon to kind of decide what they have on their show. And their show is great. They're always hilarious. They hit really well on Nintendo games, and the content they stick out is pretty awesome. They've also got other podcasts underneath them. We've got Down from Retro Logic. We've got the Dads After Dark. Tim does the dinner table every month. So it's always just it's a great group of guys making a great amount of content, which is fantastic. If you like our logo, which you can see above my head if you're watching live, and if you are watching over on YouTube, if not, and you listen to this, the logo that we have for us is available on t-shirts, mugs, bedding, you name it. You can probably stick a label on it with our faces. Head over to Redbubble for the merchandise. If you look for Game Pass news or Nintendo Dads, you will find our logo there. Please buy some stuff. Shout out to OC Remix again, as always, for the music, because we use his music at the end of the show when I edit it. Thank you very much to the people in the live chat. So Simple Monk, Ebicel, Hammer and Johnny, Tuggerbop, and I think that's everybody I've covered this week. Yep. Thank you to all those guys. Nick's adding stuff to the doc.
I'm totally ruining your outro.
No,
cool. I was just Guestober. I just wanted to make sure people got to know about it. And the fact that
so
yeah, go for it. I'm sorry.
Does my episode next week kick off Guestober early?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's like Guestober. I don't know. I'm not gonna try to. Yeah. Anyways.
So to finish off what I was saying, like, Guestober is kind of the name that me and Nick have bounced between each other because we're having like several guests throughout October. Obviously the Party Chat episode next week kind of kicks off Guestoberfest. If you want to go that far.
I love it. I think this is great.
We've got Luke Law. Is that
the Insipid Ghost next? Yep, the week Ghost, after that.
We've got Justin joining us.
Yep, the business Justin man going to break down Game Pass with us.
Yeah, we're going to absolutely try and pull it apart and make some sense of how they actually make money out of this and why. But that does leave a spot available. We are going to look into getting somebody else to fill that spot, and that should fulfill Guestober.
Well, we have Seth too. We have Seth from All In. And then we have one left. So you'll find we'll let you know who that's going to be, maybe in like a week or two once we get that one filled. But yeah, it's Guestober, so we're really excited. There'll be new face every week for the next 5 weeks.
Yeah, that took some organizing as well. So after all that, thanks again everybody for listening. Please remember to like, subscribe, give us some feedback, give us some stars on the old rating system. And as always, we hope to hear from you soon. So until next time, we'll see you later.